everybody. Good evening. Hope you are all doing well. We had a busy day in Clubhouse. I was attending a lot of meetings, very valuable, very important one on social media, and a lot of things that I was very happy to attend to. So it was a good day that way. Well spent, right? I was free today, so I was able to go to several of my friends' meeting there, right? Um, Here, I was going to talk more about what I do on a daily basis and what I am really passionate about. That is, how can we optimize our wellness? It could be individual, family relationships, society, or whatever, right? It could be physical health, mental health, and spiritual health in all sorts of right? So how can we do that? That's what I was going to focus on. So it's a kind of hi Joyce. I think you like this topic, Joyce. This is less optimization. Can you hear me? Give me a signal if you could hear me. Yeah, good. Okay. So I'll invite you if you want to come up. Hi, Joyce. Hi. Yeah. Optimization. Yeah. That's my game. Yeah, that's why I so like it. We all both know that many people don't pay attention till they get sick, and we want to be proactive about that. That's my title too. Um, I am really working on the proactive wellness. It's not enough doing a preventive workup and then say, okay, come next year. I want to find out what is that you are eating, how we are eating, what kind of nutrients or vitamins you are taking, and should you take them or not? And also, are you sleeping well? Are you relaxing enough? Are you having not too many conflicts with people? How are you taking things? How are your reactions? I go to the nitty gritty with my long friends and the family and the patients, and most of them, they know I mean well. That's why they answer me, and then I don't give them lectures, but tight simple bites of indications, not forcing them that you have to take it, but inviting them to try it. So I'm kind of bringing in a big effort on this wellness summit. This is going to be from 28th of this month into the first week of September. I think first or second. We're going to do 5 or 7 days. And I just allotted all the topics to the people who are going to come and talk about it. And this is the major topic going to be: how can we optimize wellness? How can we indicate people some common sensical things that they can take home to? So I was going to talk a lot of stuff, but then I'm making these speakers take those topics. I may add a little bit, but I will have my own topics that I work on. So what is that idea, Joyce? Wellness Summit? Yeah, sounds great. Yeah. See, I didn't want to do regular rooms, but we wanted to allot some time just for the summit, and then maybe we'll do other rooms too. But basically, 2 hours a day for 5 or 7 days, we thought we will cover many areas. So I have given a structure like a nutrition, exercise, sleep and rest, and also calming the mind. Then this health. That is something I'm really into. All this modern information overload, cognitive overload, all those things are making people lose attention, develop some problems. We don't necessarily have to. We can embrace the technology, but take some care about how we can protect our brain, our mental health, and our relationships. Those kind of things bother me because it's simple to participate. Just take a holiday from the devices, not even complete holiday, maybe few hours off, audit what you're doing and all that kind of thing. Do you think that's a good idea, digital health?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. Yeah, I was thinking when you first said that, thinking you were going to talk about things like wearables and stuff, and you're talking about managing your digital
Yeah.
exposures. Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand what you mean.
You also wear an Apple Watch, and then that automatically tracks my exercise time and everything. But I'm always moving anyway, you know. So I usually exceed the whatever limits I have put on the exercise for the day. And I don't really go and review the data because I just wear it as a habit, and it does follow. But the features though, because a lot of my patients may need that to monitor, and I want to advise some of the people who are not really aware of what's going on. So that device helps them quite a lot. They have done a lot, Joyce. The Apple new variety, the new versions, they have a lot of features. I went and studied them and wanted to know what they are monitoring, what they are calculating, what kind of analytics we can study and gather data. That is, I thought that was very, very good. You know, very soon they will be hosting the complete record of the patient on the watch itself. So that's a very, very important aspect for them for the future. So I was impressed with that. You know that Apple Watch?
Yeah. I have an Apple Watch. In fact, that's my first device that I'm using.
Yeah.
In my app is the Apple Watch.
Yeah.
Because that's what I had, and I don't know, when I had tried a Fitbit a number of years ago, and I didn't feel like it was very accurate.
Yeah, it is
So when I heard that the Apple Watch might be better, then I got that like 2.5 years ago, and it really was helpful to me because I'm always studying the heart rate.
Yeah, it's more like a remote monitoring of the blood pressure things we have. Now we can do it with the watch itself, you know. That's pretty good, you know. And also it can weight and also sleep time and your calorie count, and then so many things it manages. That's very good, I think. You know. Fitbit was more like a counting the steps. I think beyond that is not that much, you know. But that was a very basic in the beginning. They have improved quite a lot with this, and the new software development made this Apple Watch get into so many things that we thought it will not be possible for them. But now, see, I'm not against the technology, Joyce. A lot of people mistake that. What it is I embrace the technology, but I also take the good and bad about it, and then really talk about the negative to protect patients and myself and everybody. That's the only intention. But actually, if you see me in this room on my study, there is there are two this study also for my wife too, two Windows computer, one Mac, and two iPads and two iPhones and TVs and all that. So there's so much technology around us, but I have the control over them. That's all I teach. Use them, but protect yourself from too much exposure of either information or the way it is delivered and others. So I kind of have more time in the nature than I spend here. That is my secret. So it's not that I'm always here, but only when I work, I'm here. But the rest of the time, I'm out and enjoying by the river or in the. We have a huge forest here. It's called Eagle Point Park, several hundreds of acres, I believe. It's around the Mississippi. So they developed into so many picnic areas, are there maybe 100 picnic areas. So when I was taking my staff to them, we had a new place every day because there are so many places that we didn't even know. That was good for us to go to the briefly for 1 hour. We used to take a break. That was really stress buster for the staff. You know, in the middle of the day, we just carry the food and eat and have some good laughs and then come back, and that kind of set them back to more work productive way, and then they really felt like they were not stressed that much. But actually, the demands of the work were too much, and then that kind of relief really helped us.
Yeah, I remember I used to live in Tennessee for a while.
Okay.
And I was at Oak Ridge National Laboratory, and it was nice because there were like woods all around. So take a nice walk at lunch, and
I go to Tennessee quite often because my sister lives there in Murfreesboro.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful there, huh?
Yeah, we go there. We go to the Nashville, and we go down. So it's a. My mom also used to be there till she passed away. So we used to go quite often to see her there. We used to drive through the Illinois. It's a long stretch. We started in the morning. By evening, we used to go there, and then the place is very nice. We enjoyed that quite a bit. Hi, Brenda. Welcome. So the optimization of wellness, as I said, I was addressing several components. One of them is this modern technology, how we are using it, how we can be wise about it, so that it will enhance our life without really causing the damage that is, especially the kids. I was talking about a paper this morning in one room about how the attention span is going down, and also how suicide rate is going up to the girls who are on the Instagram. There was a study, I think Jonathan Haidt, he wrote that happiness index or something like that, a book he wrote about happiness. So he was quoting, he's a very famous psychologist from New York, and he had several books to his credit. But he took a study from 2014 to 2018, I think, from the time when the smartphones came to us in a big way. And those smartphones really made these girls get habituated to Instagram, and they were always paying attention. But then the suicidal rate in that population went up to 189%. And that's why he was quite alarmed, and they put that article in Atlantic, and they went and met so many legislators, presented all the data to all that. So we know that just a one word I'm quoting, but generally, if you take it, the information overload, or brain fog, or overwhelm and burnout, it's all steadily going up. And it's supposed to be that we should have less time with the technology so that we can do more stuff. In the hospitals, for example, as physicians, we are really burnt out because large part is because of the EMRs. The EMRs are very difficult to manage, and also it's kind of increased the paperwork much more. That is a chief reason why a lot of doctors are burnt out, and they complain about that. One solution I had was first adopt it and make it usable for you, customized for you. So maybe first 3 months, if I go to a new hospital, because I'm a hospitalist, I go and try different EMR systems, right? So because I also have that informatician role. So when I go there, usually they look to me to train other people. So that's why I usually spend at least first 3 months very much on the adopting that new EMR and their protocols and all of that. They are becoming easier. But then our desktop could be our AI assistant like. It can do a lot of things for us, eliminating the middle nurses, pharmacists, and all that. And not that they take their way, but we don't have to wait for their reports and all that. It's much more easily delivered to us. That kind of embracing EMR and then using it on itself, like, so I was recruiting it as my assistant, and then it really produced me a lot of time free. By the morning, I go in the morning, 7 o'clock, our shift starts, right? By 9:30, I saw the patients, and then kind of done my documentation also. And then I'm ready for the families and everything after lunch. And then any admissions come, we take care of them. Discharges, we take care of them. But that kind of efficiency was unheard of in that hospital before I went there. But then I showed them how to make the desktop work for you, and then everybody was happy. So that kind of approach is better than just not adapting and then grumbling about it, building our stress and all that. So, don't you think that's
That sounds great.
yeah?
Yeah, we got Claudia and Brenda here.
Yeah.
I wonder if they want to come up.
Yeah, welcome Claudia and Brenda. Yeah. Usually I call people who want to come up, but then when I send them, they may not want to come up. That is there too. Hi, Camille.
Yeah, so anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, Camille, they waved her hand, or
Okay.
I'm not or she. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, so what's your top wellness optimization tip for the people here?
Be present. That means don't live in your head, but live in the present, live in life. Because lots of times what we brew, what we kind of aspire or worry about are the ones that produce this sympathetic overload. This worry or this fear, those two things are very stress hormonogenic. That's why examine anybody, ask them, are you living in your head or are you living in the moment? Invariably they tell us, hey, I'm living in my head, I'm thinking about things that happened yesterday or before yesterday, or I'm worrying about something is to come and go bad, but they never focus on what it is going on. And that one particular thing is very difficult for people to do, but if you do it, you kind of in a jovial mode all the time, and your physical mental health is much better.
Yeah, and what do you tell people if they have a difficult time doing that? What do you tell them?
Yeah, be in the present means here in this moment, whatever is happening, focus on that. Suppose I'm talking to you, I'm focusing on this today. I'm not thinking about what is going to happen next hour and all of it, because I'll come to that later. But as I'm living today and here and now, I get focused. So that is what you need to practice. Focus on whatever you're doing, give all your attention. Then everything that you do will get quality attention, gets done properly. And then you can take up the next one. I do it with my patients. The patient I see today, this moment, I focus on him. And then after he's done, next patient, again, the same thing. Attention to him, focus on him. So that kind of thing really helps me to really be attentive to the patient. They like it because I'm really giving them my ear and everything to him. And also I'm listening to what they're saying. So they're pretty satisfied because my doctor listened to me, understood me, allowed me to express myself. So I understood what he's saying. I could ask him all his questions, like kind of thing. The rapport is very good when I pay attention like that. So I have this mantra, like I tell my staff, my family, and everybody, pay attention to every action during the day. Complete attention. What do you think? Does it deserve the bill of top one?
I didn't quite catch that. You said you asked the question.
Yeah, I was asking, does the staying in the present is that the top billing suggestion?
Is that a top
Billing. You are asking me what is the top suggestion, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And I was thinking about how but that can be very hard to do.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about how breathing methods can really help you do that because it kind of relaxes you.
Yeah.
Slows down your mind, right?
Yeah. Even when you are greeting somebody, the patient comes into the clinic, Joyce, I I managed to convince the girls that it is important that they feel they are welcomed, They are happy to see the patient, and also patient is an important guest for us and all that. So you got to really pay attention, not be casual or paying something else. You have to pay attention, look in their eye, greet them by the name, and ask them to sit down and tell them if they are really, all those things are involved. That really makes a good patient relationship management, and also the patients are happy because they feel like, oh, these people are my friends, they are waiting for me, they're greeting me right away and all that. So every action being attentive like that was difficult in the beginning because they are doing multitasking, they are doing several things, and I kind of made them do several things, but one after another. So that really helps you not to waste your mental energy. It's a very difficult thing, I know, because we are caught in the cycle of always thinking, either in the past or in the future. But when you are living the movement, that means you are not in the thought, but you are here. So it's difficult. That's why I put it as the top billing, because people don't live like that. People are always thinking about something that happened or something is going to happen. So they don't go anywhere. They're just in the head. And only for certain people they will attend well, but not everybody. Once they make this habit of really paying attention to everybody, I didn't have to tell them anything. They were like that with everybody. And that helped our clinic and also helped them because they formed some relationship with friends, with the patients, and the patients liked them the way they were greeting, that they were paying attention, the way they were giving their ear. All those things they helped. They really understood. Suppose a difficult patient comes, I trained my staff to calm down, and what it is pay attention to your emotions. Don't let them go away. Suppose they come shout, something happened with billing or whatever, right? But if the agitated patient is on the other side of the window, don't be agitated. Just calm down, and then you're able to listen to what he has to say, and then he'll also calm down. Then you can give him um, whatever explanation you want, and he will listen. That kind of um, being in the present has come to them after they understood they are not being in the present, they are always in the past or the future. It took some training, but then when I'm doing it, it rubbed off them, and then later on they found this way we are not spending that much time about thinking so many things. We are doing in the morning also, they know the priorities, what patients are coming, what equipment has to be ready. All that morning huddle helped with that too. And then carrying that like that with each patient, they were able to do excellent service that way. You know.
Thinking, what you said reminded me of something I learned from my mom.
Yeah.
And that was that, and this was the sort of the surefire way to get over shyness.
Yeah.
And that was to think about the other person.
Yeah.
And like if you're in a group of people, there's always going to be someone else who's even more shy than you are.
Yeah.
And you go up to them and you start talking to them, and they're so grateful.
Yeah.
And you're thinking about them and not yourself.
Yeah, you broke the ice, and then that's more like empathy, figuring out who is really how they are feeling, how they are acting, and all that is very very important too. The empathy, right? Important quality. I was talking to the room today about soft skills in the modern age, and one of them I first told them was the empathy. If you are trying to understand somebody how they feel, and then you also feel how they are feeling, like the shyness you said about, that is a rare thing these days because people are rushing and going after things. Hi Jacob, welcome.
Hey, bonjour, Dr. Rao, Joyce, and Flavia, friends. I'm just listening.
Yeah, sure. Just greeting you. That's all. So that empathy, Joyce, I think such a nice quality. Your mother told you to do that.
Yeah. She was a very outgoing person.
Yeah.
And I'm actually more of a shy person, but
Yeah.
I learned
Yeah.
how to act not shy, and then it kind of rubbed off on me some, even though sometimes I'm kind of shy. But
Yeah.
Yeah, and it should feel so good too when
Yeah.
you see that person who was all shy and awkward at the party,
Exactly.
and then you broke the ice and you made them feel comfortable and you have a nice conversation.
Yeah, that is the interpersonal dynamics that are good for us because the human interaction produces that. You know, when I go on the afternoon rounds for just to talk to the patient and relatives, so just to talk to them, there is no need medically. Also, I go and make a round, right? When I go there, this is the benefit I get because I may tell them this is what is going on, this is what the specialist said, all that I will share with them. But then they are so anxious about so many things, they were not talking to anybody. But when I told them very frankly what's going on and all that, and also really understood their concern, they became so much relieved. And seeing them being relieved like that, I was very happy. That is the intangible benefit we have when we do something for other people. Their reaction feeds us. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that, Joyce.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And then I was also thinking, I don't know if I actually got this from my mom, maybe to some degree, or maybe elsewhere, but if I'm ever feeling sorry for myself, I can always think of people who have it so much worse off.
Exactly.
And it makes me, and also I've known people who've had like very severe and painful conditions. Of course, as a doctor, you've had plenty of experience with that too. But, you just know, and the people I'm trying to help with my research and everything, I used to try to help this one woman that I'd gotten to know, and she had such a severe pain condition. And she had to be on so much medication, but she was still in terrible pain. And so, I could almost think of her.
This is an important principle I train in the burnout coaching because physicians, most of them are trained not to be reacting emotionally, being numb to whatever is going on with the patient in the excuse of protecting themselves from the other people's suffering and all that. But that is so not human, really. But if you allow yourself to be more humane and able to listen to or understand or display a kind of sensitivity to what they are going through, that doesn't drain you. That actually, upheaves your energy a little bit. So I never lost that humane heartfulness, which I don't even think about it. It has to be presented, and then people really appreciate that because they don't want to talk to a degree, MD, and all the ego and all that. They want to really talk to a human being lots of times. The more you are human being, the better it is. So instead of being in the high horse, like I'm such a big deal, if you come down and say, you are the one who is suffering now, you are the one that I want to attend, that, and also this feeling, when somebody is diagnosed with a terminal cancer, Joyce, and some of the people I saw, they are never down. They're always optimistic, and then they take the whole thing very easily. Maybe in the beginning a little bit, but later on, their attitude is such an admirable thing. When you see that, you will immediately, even the kids, some of the kids are so pleasantly smiling and everything, right? So you will see how grateful you are we have all these things. That is the thing, right? Celebrate what you have, and then don't regret about what you lost, and don't aspire for what you don't have, but celebrate what you have. And that itself, okay, everybody is told count your blessings, but if they actually do that and then sleep on that in the night, that's what I tell them all the time. Sleep on positives that happen to you today. Don't think of the negatives, wash them off, resolve them. But then when you go to sleep, it is better to sleep on an empty mind. Not everybody can do that, but at least the positives. If you think of the positives and only sleep on that, in the morning your energy will be much better. That's also another wellness optimizer.
And do you find it, say if a doctor comes to you who's kind of burned out by dealing with so much suffering,
Yeah.
are you able to, do they have much success changing that attitude in terms of, reaching the point you are at where you don't feel drained by the suffering, but you feel.
It doesn't happen right away, but they do feel light after they're talking to me, right? Then the difficult part comes when I tell them, you do this, this, this. That's where the very tough time, because they're already conditioned by their own thinking and mind that is established. So you may listen to me, intellectually you understood, you are inspired and all that. That's what happens in the beginning. And then the next morning they wake up, everything starts again the same way. So you need to understand what kind of conditioning you had gone through, and because of that conditioning you are suffering, and you have to decondition that takes time. That's where I got to be on watching them and helping them. So what I tell them is, you don't have to make an appointment. Call me whenever you are in a tricky situation, you want to talk to me. That kind of accessibility really helps them. They don't call me unless this is severe. And then I also tell them, if you cannot call me, then write it down, journal it, make a note of what happened that day, and then in the evening look at it. And then if it is really happening so many times you are not able to control it and you're overwhelmed by it, then call me. So, and then bring those notes to me, then we can have a reflection of what is happening, not to recollect things, but to just to review it and reflect on it and then change our behavior. So it's a long process, John. So that's why this wellness optimizer is for the understanding how we condition in our thought too, because of the culture, upbringing, or misguided concepts, either non-scientific or scientific, and also belief systems. So many things go there, right? So what you have to do is, you got to really see body, mind as one organism, but then there is the spiritual energy that really animates the body and mind complex. Most of the people think they are body or they are mind, but I have the luxury of seeing them as instruments. So get them to that stage where they can also see the mind as instrument takes some time. But after they see that, they are able to really watch their thoughts and not succumb to them. And that slowly goes down. It takes real training for that, though. But the important thing is, they start to do a couple of things. I tell them simple things. Number one is deep breathing in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, as much as they possible. And the deep breathing, again, being in the present and or aware of what they are breathing and all. And the second thing is, I always tell them, reflect on everything that happened at the night time before you go to sleep, and then try to empty as much as possible. In the beginning, they find it impossible, but then with tricks I teach them about deep sleep, and they do those exercises, yoga nidra, and also body scanning. That's something I teach them too. They do all these things are very low tech, high touch things. So you got to understand, you got to remember, and then you usually when they are doing with me in the morning, they do very well. But then when they have to do on their own, that's when the problem. I tell them, record it and then go keep it as a session and do it. And I don't know how many people do it after they recorded it. Usually I let it flow everything very easily, and they can take all of that. And it's a question of not a knowledge, it's a question of how is your conditioning overwhelming you, and how you are trying to self-mastery. That is the word I use, self-mastery. You can bring it in slowly. And some people are really suffering because they have headaches, can't sleep, and they can't enjoy their work, they can't have conversations with their spouses or colleagues, or they are really barking at them. All those things happen when things really, other people don't see that you are suffering and you are doing. They react to whatever you say, and then you are responsible to what you have to say. So teaching them all these things takes only one thing: training, training, training. lots of times, lot of people are not coming out because they don't know how to deal with onslaught of so much information, so much work, and so little support in the system. That's why system has to realize this is an ongoing bad problem. Thought systems are not the solution, but awareness systems are the solution. For me, that is a saving grace. I'm aware, so I know my thought. I can use thought when I need. Otherwise, I'm silent. I don't have to react so much to other people because I understand the reaction. The reactions, what they do is they kind of increase your sympathetic nervous system overload. That is the way the reactions produce fight or flight mechanism, and all the stress hormones are produced. I point out simple small things that they are doing from morning till evening. I can trace their work pattern, and I can ask those incidents how they are getting out with the paramedical staff or nursing or other doctors and the patients, patient relatives, and usually they feel like all this is nonsense with the patient and patient family. We have to pay so much attention to improve the patient experience and all. But I say use that as a incentive for you. Use it as a something you can get out of it. Like we said, when you go somebody is shy, you go there and talk to them, then the whole reaction made you and her feel better. So you can do the same thing in the service area of the patients. You don't go and do everything to expect their compliments or praise, or you are not doing that, but then it happens automatically. Sometimes they are so affectionate, so grateful. There was a patient, I recall, this patient was very sick. So forced specialists are working, but I'm the internal medicine doctor, right? So I have to call the consults, and they are cardiologists, nephrologists, hepatologists, endosopulmonary, all are working. But they are very sincere. They are coming and doing what they need, and then they are discussing with me, and then they are going away. But what I did was, every time I came to know certain update from a specialist, I kind of made sure I called them on the phone or walked to the room if I could, and then I told them this is what is happening, and then they had so many questions. All I did was I was able to answer some of them. If I don't have time, then I'll tell them later. But the make sure sincerity about conveying the information to them made them feel very well. So they made me as their main doctor, and then all the credit went to him when he was recovering. All I did was just to make sure they know about what's going on. Of course, I called in the doctors, I participated in the care and all that, but the credit that a specialist should deserve all came to me just because I was sensitive about their need to know. That kind of thing. That is I call it as a intangible thing. It's something that it is right there in your patient care. Instead of focusing on the people who are criticizing you or taking belittling you, like administrators, insurance people, or other nurses and all that, you can focus on this. This is a chief reason why you are here, is to serve the patient and make that service really service from your heart and see the repercussions. To cultivate that, people take a lot of time. Sometimes they don't feel because their ego is so high, they think they are the big heart, so everything should be working for them. It doesn't. It gets much worse, more resistance around you, and then they don't. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a legal, they are victims of system too, because the system, when they are getting trained, kind of allows them to develop this ego or really helps the ego to grow. So later on, when they go into the jobs, so this ego becomes a hindrance to their personal growth and also professional growth. That's why they suffer quite a bit, quite a lot. If you, I call them servant leadership. Go and serve the people who need you. And they think, oh, this is like a monk-like thing, this is a spiritual thing. I said, no, it's a very commonsensical thing. You just, why are you there? To help the patient. Consider it as a service and do it, not expecting anything in return, and see the results.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to go right now. Somebody is calling me. So
Sure,
but,
sure.
Yeah, maybe Claudia or Stanley come up and have a great conversation.
Yeah, you're welcome to come up. Yeah. I have people on the Wisdom and also other channels here too. But whoever comes up, I talk to them. It's a daily thing. I was talking to Joyce about how I'm optimizing wellness, and I promote being proactive about everything: food, water, exercise, sleep, and also our inner health. I focus on that, and we are planning a summit on wellness, and that wellness we are going to do it for a 5 days or 1 week, and so many other people are also going to participate. I'm not the only speaker, but our aim is to convey all these extra things that we could do on a daily basis to optimize our wellness. It's not enough just to have a preventive H&P once a year. That's okay, that can be done. But apart from that, what are the modern developments? What are the ancient wisdom that we can bring it to healthcare, where we can say, okay, somebody's saying, I hate water, it doesn't taste. But then we have to talk to them about how important the water is, how they should avoid these energy drinks and all this saccharin, all these sugary drinks and all that. So that kind of optimization we're talking about. This is going to be from August 28th to September 1st or 2nd, I think. This is going to be in Rocky's house from morning 9 to 11 Central Time. So I thought I will talk about this today, and I've been talking about Stanley and Claudia. You want to come up and ask me any questions, or you're happy just to listen? Either is okay. Let me invite some of these people also on the Wisdom. Anybody wants to come up, you can come up too. Anyway, we do this room between 6 to every day. People come, some people only one or two people, that we have a lovely discussion. I had a nice talk with Joyce today, so I'm enjoying that. All right, we will roll up for now today, and I'll come back tomorrow again. Thank you. I will see you.